Disclaimer. This podcast is not nor does not constitute as providing medical advice or professional services. The information provided should not be used for diagnosing or treating health problems or disease. Those seeking personal medical advice should consult with a licensed physician, and as always, please seek the advice of your doctor or other qualified health provider regarding a medical condition. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room immediately.
My name is Rachael.
My name is Marleigh.
My name is Ciara.
And my head hurts. Episode 2 of My Head Hurts. My head really hurts. Why? Everyone has experienced some type of headache. Some people may get a headache once or twice a year, while others get more than 15 headaches a month. How often do you guys get headaches?
I don't really get headaches that often, except for when I do, they're so severe. Like, when I went to New York, I was dehydrated, of course. Like, my head was pounding, my eyesight was, like, literally, like, glitching out almost, and it was all because of my headache. And I think that headaches are a flop.
I probably get a headache every week, honestly, but a lot of the time it's so small that I don't really notice it, and I think you're right, like, it's most of the time just from dehydration, and, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be the outlier here and say that I get a headache every single day, which we will talk about later on at the end of the episode, but I do, in fact, get headaches every single day. Some of them aren't that bad. Like today, my headache isn't really that bad. But like yesterday, it was pretty bad. So it kind of just ranges. The word headache is actually an umbrella term that describes both primary and secondary types of headaches. A primary headache can be broken up into 4 different types, either a tension headache, a cluster headache, a paroxysmal hemicrania headache, and a migraine. Secondary headaches, on the other hand, occur as a result of another medical condition.
The brain itself does not experience pain. The brain tissue does not have pain-sensitive nerve fibers. However, nerves in the blood vessels on the surface of the brain are responsible for sending those pain signals to the brain. In turn, inflammatory substances are then released into the nerves and blood vessels in the brain. For those of you who do not know, inflammation is the body's response to injuries. So if you get hurt, inflammation assists with the recovery process, i.e., acute inflammation. But when there is no injury, inflammation can instead harm your body and lead to numerous chronic diseases.
Tension headaches are the most common type of headache, with 1 to 3% of all adults experiencing chronic tension headaches.
How do you know if it's a tension headache?
A tension headache is characterized by a strong band of pressure going around the entirety of the head. It can be caused by stress, jaw clenching, hunger, depression, sleep disorders, arthritis, or even poor posture. Tension headaches are considered chronic if someone experiences more than 15 tension headache days a month. And episodic, meaning irregular, if there are less than 15 tension headache days a month.
Cluster headaches, on the other hand, only affect 0.1% of the population, being more common in males with an average onset age of 30. A cluster headache is defined as severe pain that occurs on one side of the head, or it can even occur behind the eyes. Cluster headaches occur in cycles. 1 month you might get a cluster headache every single day, but then the next month could be completely pain-free. Commonly, cluster headaches are caused by smoking, alcohol, certain smells such as paint, nail polish, etc., and even physical exercise.
Paroxysmal hemicrania headaches are quite rare, but are categorized by its persistence and severity. Some people that get paroxysmal hemicrania headaches will get multiple, up to 40 attacks every day for over a year. Attacks can last between 5 to 30 minutes and can range in severity. They can also be triggered simply by a movement of the head or pressure to the neck.
This type of headache also comes and goes in cycles, where the patient may not get a headache for months at a time. The pain caused by paroxysmal hemicrania has been described as claw-like pain, and severe throbbing on one side of the face, and occasionally the back of the neck. The pain from this type of headache can cause red, teary eyes, or a droopy, swollen eyelid on the affected side of the head. In between attacks, people have been reported feeling fatigued. Paroxysmal hemicrania headaches occur more frequently in females and can be fully treated but not cured.
Secondary headache disorders are caused by illnesses or other chronic medical conditions that affect the nervous system. Secondary headaches can be caused by sleep disorders, brain tumors, strokes, withdrawals, like from medications or drugs, head trauma, inflammation, seizures, leaking spinal fluid, or physical deformations.
Migraines affect around 12% of the people in the United States, ranging from adults to children. Migraines are an extremely painful type of headache that can last for hours or days at a time. Similar to other types of headaches, there is no cure for migraines, but a wide range of treatments are available.
We don't know how to say words.
We do this every time.
We don't know how to say words in our podcast.
I don't want that.
So we Google them and watch how to pronounce premonitory.
How to pronounce this word? Premonitory.
Premonitory. Within one migraine, there are 4 different phases. The first being the premonitory phase. Within the premonitory phase, it is possible to experience drastic mood changes, food cravings, neck stiffness, excessive yawning, and a sensitivity to light, sounds, or odors.
After the premonitory phase comes the auras. An aura can happen right before a migraine attack, ranging from...
Move a little closer.
She went like that to me. Because you're so close to me. Because Ciara told me to be so
Yeah,
close.
because look at
You
how
rotate
small
this
it is
way.
when we just talk like this. So
What?
you see
Yeah.
how small it is? It
Wait,
gets-
Marleigh, talk.
Hello? That's
Okay.
how
I think
it
it's
is
the
when
same for
everyone
everyone.
talks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just except when we cackle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Or when I try to do my ASMR.
It's gonna be like...
Okay, go.
Okay, I'm going. I saw you out of the corner of your eye do it too. I was like, I'm not gonna laugh. Okay. Okay. After the premonitory phase comes the auras. Okay. If you do
Not
silly
taking-
faces, you're gonna be in the thumbnail.
We are not doing our thumbnail pics yet.
Okay.
Feel your back pop from how bad your posture is every
We
time
need
I
one
do
of
they
those
go
things.
like those. Oh, the Chinese back breaks.
After the premonitory phase comes the auras. An aura happens right before a migraine attack, ranging from 10 to 60 minutes beforehand, and can affect someone's sight, speech, or even touch. A visual aura can cause blurred vision and blind spots, which can get bigger. Sensory auras can cause numbness or tingling that will start in the arm and move upwards to the face. Finally, there are motor auras that can cause someone to slur their speech, have trouble understanding, difficulty when writing, and overall not thinking clearly.
The third phase is when the headache actually occurs. The pain level during a migraine headache can range from being mild to being severe. Things such as physical activity, certain strong smells, exposure to light can make the pain worse. A common side effect of a migraine headache is nausea and vomiting. Weirdly enough, not all migraines have this phase. Migraines without a headache are called silent migraines.
The final phase of a migraine is the postdrome, which occurs when the headache has gone away. Generally, this phase can leave people feeling unwell. It can last a few hours or even a few days. Where and how severe a migraine gets varies for each person, but generally consists of either throbbing, pulsing, pounding, or a dull pain on either side of the head. The pain can change which side of the head it affects, and can even spread to the eyes, temples, sinuses, jaw, or even the neck.
While there may not be a clear definition why migraines occur, migraines affect females more than males, can be brought on by mood or sleep disorders, and studies have shown a correlation between migraines and genetics. 80% of people that experience migraines have a first-degree relative with the condition.
Migraines can be triggered by numerous factors, including, but not limited to, depression, anxiety, stress, skipping meals, caffeine, tiredness, not getting enough physical activity, too much physical activity, hormones, weather conditions, exposure to light or strong odors, medications, and food like aged cheese, chocolate, MSGs, and nitrates, cured or processed foods, fermented or pickled foods, and sugar.
Do you guys have any trigger foods that you notice cause headaches or migraines?
I actually don't, which is weird because I remember you talking about how your mother, when she drinks regular Coke, she gets migraines, which is, like, I don't understand. Maybe, I don't know.
If I notice if I get brain freeze, I'll have a headache for the rest of the day.
Really?
Yeah.
I've noticed that, since I get a headache every day, that usually they're worse when I have a lot of sugar. Do I care? Not quite. But, I'll have a cupcake if I want one. I'll have a cookie if I want one. But then I just have to pay the price.
Yeah, I feel like probably certain foods give everyone headaches. It's just most people kind of ignore their minor headaches. Like, they just act like it's not there.
Yeah. I know, I kind of feel like I have, one continuous
I have
headache.
one right now.
Yeah, no,
like a little
us
tiny
talking
one.
about it is making me have a headache.
True.
But,
It's, right here,
yeah.
I've also noticed that when I have, takeout Chinese food, it'll give me a headache because of the MSG that's in it.
Wow.
As we
Interesting.
had just mentioned.
Yeah, I just don't drink enough water because I drink sparkling water, and so I just don't drink that much.
So you get no nutrients, really.
No, it's fine, but I'll only have 2 cans versus a
Like a
whole
four,
Stanley that I
yeah.
need to drink. So
Migraines are diagnosed by a neurologist based on someone's personal experience and their family history. The treatments for migraines range from over-the-counter medications to prescribed medications. There are what is called an abortive medication that will stop the migraine once they've already started. There are preventative medications that prevent the onset of a migraine that you take kind of every day. And rescue medications that are available over the counter as a last resort if nothing else is available.
Which I think is literally so stupid. This is my pet peeve. Like, if your head hurts so bad and then the next thing you have to do is go wait in the line of a pharmacy to go get medicine with those fluorescent white lights beaming at your eyeballs, I'd be so mad.
I know personally I take what's called naproxen, which is just like Aleve, but I take it at a much higher dose. The doses I take are 600 milligrams, which would make the average person very sick if they took it. So I understand why medications like that, because I've been taking, 600 milligrams of ibuprofen since I was a kid. So I'm used to that high dosage. Yeah. But like if I gave Ciara a 600 milligram naproxen, her stomach might hurt even more than it already does.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
But there's always medications like ibuprofen, 200 milligrams that are kind of available everywhere. But it's just kind of when you get to those higher doses, it's those like 200 milligram doses that are kind of widely available. But it's when you get up to those where the pill itself is like 600 milligrams. It's when it has to be prescribed to someone. Okay, this is kind of strange, but another treatment for migraines is a shot. So my mom gets a monthly injection that she puts in her stomach. And like
her stomach?
And
my grandma has that too, actually.
Yeah. It's like a self one that you just stick in your stomach, and then it'll get rid of the migraines for like 30 days.
Stomach?
Yeah.
Because the stomach's able to like absorb it quicker, absorb it better.
Yeah, like people that take testosterone, they have to put it in their stomach too.
Or like when you swallow a pill, it goes down to your stomach.
Wow.
And then that's when it's absorbed. Yeah.
That's when it's absorbed into the bloodstream.
We're all learning here. While medication can help get rid of migraines, if the medication is overused, it can cause a medication overuse headache. Instead of using medication to treat a migraine, there are other non-invasive remedies, including exercise, dietary changes, relaxation techniques, stress management, and migraine journals to uncover different triggers. While in the middle of a migraine episode, it is ideal to rest in a dark, quiet, cool room with a hot or cold compress applied to the forehead or back of neck, scalp massages, or applying pressure to the temples.
Fun fact, I have this really cute migraine cap. I always say that I kind of look like a swimmer with it because it goes right over my head, and usually I keep my glasses on when I wear it, so it kind of pushes them down into my nose, and I kind of have to tilt my head up, which probably does not help my migraine, but obviously look, it's super cool and fly. We're going to kind of talk about our own experiences with headaches and migraines, like if we get them, how we deal with them, kind of stuff like that.
So, as I said, I don't really get severe, I guess, really like noticeable headaches that often, but when I do, I found like the best way to get rid of them is, of course, take a freaking Advil as soon as you feel it start, because if you let that thing simmer a little bit, it just gets 10 times worse and it takes even longer to take care of. But my favorite thing to do is I'll lay down and I'll get like a wet washcloth, like a cold wet washcloth, and I'll just cover my eyes and my head with it, and I'll just kind of like lay there. And I've noticed it like takes about 10 minutes, but after that I start feeling a little bit better.
So one of the worst headaches I ever had was when I flew to London. So I was on like a 9-hour flight, and I was trying to sleep through the flight, but it didn't end up working. I just couldn't get comfortable, and we were in like the cheapest seats, so it was super uncomfortable. And because we were in kind of the lower class seats, we also didn't get beverage service as often.
Economy.
Whatever.
Lower class.
She was actually on top of the plane. They just kind of they just strapped a chair on the top and told her, hold on.
Yeah, basically. No, so we didn't get beverage service as much as probably is necessary on a flight like that. And also because it was at night, they don't come as often. So I was super dehydrated. I had only had like a LaCroix before I got on, and then I got a LaCroix when I was on, and then other than that, there was no water, and the food...
Miss Healthy Girl.
Yeah. The food was really nasty, and so I couldn't eat most of it. And so by the time I landed, I was already super jet lagged, so I already have a headache. And then we don't end up getting to the hostel until like 2 hours later. And then from there, we don't have food for another 2 hours. So I'm going without food basically the whole day. And the landing was super rough, so my stomach was hurting. And that was probably the worst headache I ever had. And what ended up helping is I got some coleslaw because I hadn't had good fresh food in like a whole day. So I ate some coleslaw, and then when we got back to the hostel, I drank an entire hydro flask of water.
Ooh.
And then I took a shower and went to bed.
Nice, just nice.
And I woke up and I was okay.
Yay!
Sometimes going to bed also just helps. Like, when I feel like any illness coming on, I'll just go to sleep and wake up and I hope it's gone. But sometimes with headaches, I'll wake up and then it's still there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
my cheat code didn't work today.
Yeah, for headaches, a good thing to do is just take a shower. Because usually that hot water, it, like, distracts your brain from feeling that, like, the pain of your headache. And instead feeling, like, the hot water or the cold water. Hey, guys, I had to make some notes so I didn't forget everything. Okay, so I pretty much had headaches my whole life. But in second grade, I remember I had, like, my first ever, like, migraine. Because we were sitting on the numbered carpet doing, like, story time or something.
Iconic, really.
And my head had already been hurting for, like, a few days at that point. And I just started to cry in my second grade class during silent reading or something. And my teacher makes eye contact with me, and she's like, does your head hurt? Silently. Everyone else is paying attention to the story. And then she just, like, points at the door, and I went down to the office, and I had them call my mom and pick me up. I've kind of, ever since then, I just kind of dealt with it, except in freshman year, when every single day when I'd come home from school, I would have the worst headaches ever, like, every single day. So then I talked to my pediatrician about them, and in the meantime, while I was waiting for my neurologist appointment, which took 6 months to get. Anyway, my neurologist appointment took 6 months to get. I was bumped up to taking 600 milligrams of ibuprofen at a time when I needed it. And there was one day where I took 3 doses, 1 in the morning, 1 in the middle of the day, and 1 in the afternoon, because it just would not go away. This would kind of go on and on when I would take a dose every single day, and then my tummy would start to hurt. And that's kind of when I started to feel nauseous when I got migraines. And then finally, I saw a neurologist and was prescribed Topamax, which is like the name brand version of topiramate, which was the worst medicine I've ever been on. Fun fact, when I was on this medicine, I was driving home from school, still on my permit. My dad was sitting next to me, and I almost fell asleep. I was driving, and I went, and there's a car in front of me, and I hear my car going beep, beep, and I'm like, oh. And it didn't even wake me up. I was still kind of like, all the way home. And, like, I could not think. I'm pretty sure I got, like, a 0% on a Spanish test I took on this medicine because I could not remember a single thing. I could study all night and not remember a single thing I studied. I got so tired. I was, like, chronically tired. Even if I got, like, 12 hours of sleep, I still got headaches, so it didn't even work. And I could barely think straight. After that, they just kind of gave me that naproxen I was talking about earlier, just in a higher dose. I still get headaches every day. That's what's called a chronic migraine. This is how my neurologist explained it. It's kind of like a roller coaster. It'll start off small, then it'll get worse, but then it still just kind of drops off and it's still there. Kind of every up and down every day. I get mine personally from my mother. She's also gotten migraines her whole life.
That sounds so bad. I get my migraines from my mother.
Yeah, she actually gives them to me. She goes like this.
I know. It sounds like she's, like, bashing her skull in.
My mother does not bash my skull in. She just passed them down to me in my genetically. But she takes an injection once a month, so she's fine. She actually even once tried Botox. Because there's a study where if you put Botox in your forehead, it kind of, like, numbs it so that you don't feel as much, and also you can't move as much, too. But anyway, one of her nurse friends gave her Botox. And then she was kind of like Kim Kardashian. Just kidding. It wasn't actually that much. But Botox has actually been shown to help and they sometimes use it in kids because
Wow.
it helps, because it's kind of like a long-term
Yeah.
migraine treatment, because then you don't have to take this invasive medicine every day that kind of like destroys your liver and destroys like your kidneys.
Fun.
One thing that I was curious about that you mentioned, like, if you continue to take medicine, you'll get more headaches from the medicine. But what I would think from it is that the medicine would just stop working.
Yeah.
But
It's just like when you take so much medicine, you'll get withdrawals from it. It's the same with like caffeine, because caffeine you can use as a treatment for a migraine, but if you have caffeine every single day to treat it, it'll stop working, and then you'll have caffeine withdrawals, which will also give you a headache.
well, now that we've dived deeper into why we get headaches, some of our causes, and some of the remedies that we've tried, we are going to end today's episode.
Thank you for listening to episode 2 of My Head Hurts podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on push notifications, rate us 5 stars, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at My Head Hurts podcast. Bye!
Disclaimer. This podcast is made for educational purposes only. The research stated in this podcast was simply sourced by the host of My Head Hurts. Nothing stated was derived for the purpose of copyright, and we do not claim to own or have created anything stated. All rights remain to their discoveries and sources, which are listed in the description and on the source page of each episode.